Members of the Joint Convention, the Governor of the State of Michigan, Rick Snyder.
January 19th, 2016. Michigan's Governor Rick Snyder gives his State of the State address amidst the still escalating Flint water crisis. His apologies and promises drowned out by the shouts of nearly 1,000 protesters just outside the doors. The signs beg for clean water, living wages, and answers to dozens of issues. But one family had been hurt in a way that only a few others had. Tanya Von Deneen lost her uncle on July 5th, 2015 to Legionnaires' disease.
My uncle recently got a job working in Flint with cleaning up yards that had water in them and were spring water, probably from the Flint River areas. And shortly after he did that, he ended up with Legionnaires' pneumonia, and a couple weeks later he died.
When Brian McHugh fell ill in the summer of 2015, Tanya had no idea his condition was as serious as it actually was.
Not at all. My grandma called me. I brought my kids. He's barely breathing and can only say yes and no answers by the time that I get there.
Originally, Tanya suspected that her uncle was infected while working in Flint, but Brian was treated at McLaren Flint Hospital on several occasions, prior and during Flint's time on the Flint River water.
It just made no sense why there was multiple people up on a unit with Legionnaires, but there's a clear connection between the change in the Detroit water to the Flint water and an increase in the Legionella bacteria.
McLaren did not go public with news of the outbreak, adding to the list of reasons behind the $100 million lawsuit they are now facing. Since the patients had all been treated recently at the hospital, the disease isn't transferable through air or contact, and McLaren is on Flint water. Brian and the other patients most likely picked up the disease from the water at the hospital. Normally, Genesee County sees less than a dozen instances of people infected with Legionnaire's disease in a year. 91 total cases occurred during June of 2014 to November of 2015, 12 of which resulted in death. So another question comes into light. Why didn't the people find out sooner?
Yeah, in terms of Legionnaires, I didn't learn of that until 2016. And as soon as I became aware of it, we held a press conference the next day. That was clearly a case where the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services should have done more to escalate the issue, to get it visible to the public and to me.
However, emails released from the Genesee County Health Department show that high-ranking members of Snyder's administration were informed of the outbreak back in March of 2015.
The information was in the highest levels of your executive office 10 months before you knew. Did you speak with them about it?
No, I don't recall any mention of that to me, and I don't recall seeing those emails or being part of any of those discussions.
So the story turns into a scandal, leaving one of two possibilities that is still undecided. Snyder was telling the truth in his press conference, having never learned of the outbreak until January, meaning that an issue of this importance was overlooked and took lives. The second possibility would be that Snyder did know about the Legionella levels back in March and lied to the media and to Congress. Either way, the government had the potential to save lives and decided not to. For families like Tanya's, that choice changed everything.
My uncle was everything to us. I mean, he came to all of our functions. He was always there to support my kids, me. He was one of my #1 supporters, and now I don't have him in my life at all. And that hurts.
91 total cases occurred during June of 2014 to November of 2015, 12 of which resulted in death. 91 total cases occurred during June of 2014 to November of 2015, 12 of which resulted in death.